My name is Kelly, and I decided to research the culture of the Zulu and how they view death, um, their afterlife, and also their grieving and mourning period. So first, to start, that the Zulu culture is influenced by Christianity and Islam, and so their belief is in a supreme being or the creator of Earth. So first off, if someone lived as a thief, wizard, murderer, etc., then they will be doomed to punishment in the afterlife, which means that they would be a wandering ghost and they could be eaten or expelled by the ancestors. The ancestors are the deceased and they are held in a very high respect, and many see ancestors as kind of like middlemen between God and themselves. And so people need to respect their ancestors and also obey them because that way they can continue to have a good life here on earth. So off of that, sorcerers and wizards are not admitted as an ancestor, so they do not get a proper burial. They will usually get chopped up or burned. So the Zulu culture does welcome reincarnation, which means they can come back to life. I didn't really get too much into that. I focus more just on the death and grieving afterlife process, but they do welcome reincarnation. So, whenever someone passes away, their corpse is removed through a hole in the wall, feet first, and it's not through the door. So, once they are removed through the wall, then someone comes back in and fixes the wall. If this isn't fixed, this can be seen like a curse, and the corpse's like spirit can come back into the home. So funerals take place before sunrise because the sorcerers are sleeping. Some Zulu people choose to be buried next to their house, under their house, but that can vary community to community. And the Zulu culture overall believes that the soul lives on, and so depending on the community, the deceased can live under the earth, on the other side of a deep river, anything like that. Excuse me. The Zulu culture views afterlife as an extension of what is known as the present. So it's also known as a place that is free of pain and hunger. They're still living technically in their world, but they've just moved on. So like I said, the deceased ones are ancestors, and they're held in very high respect. The traditional healers can be utilized when someone passes away because they help someone who's living understand what their ancestors want. So they can work through dreams if people have them of their ancestors and see what the ancestors came to them in their dreams for. So when Zulu people visit the gravesite, they usually do so to perform a ritual. So unveiling the tombstone can be recognized as a ritual, and a tradition known as bringing the deceased back home. So before the ritual, the family must visit the gravesite and tell the deceased what they're about to do, and also tell them about any of their troubles that they have maybe faced since the deceased has passed away. So before the unveiling, the family must slaughter a cow and burn incense. The burning of incense is used to communicate with ancestors, and so a ritual is not complete without incense or a Zulu beer. A Zulu beer is considered a traditional Zulu food, so it's always consumed when there is a death. Another cultural tradition that's very important is Eladi, which is for remembering the dead. So first people will go to the gravesite and burn incense and speak to the deceased, and then they slaughter a chicken. And then they prepare the deceased's favorite foods, fruits, and the Zulu traditional food. So that includes the Zulu beer. Next, they invite people to eat with the family on Saturday, and only on a Saturday. So whenever people come over, they pray to God, and then they burn the incense. And that concludes the ritual. So next is grieving. And the grieving, I learned as I read, can change, like community to community, kind of based on their practices. But overall, I identified the major aspects that really stayed the same from for the overall Zulu culture. So first, there's a week of strict mourning. Your relationship to the deceased can kind of impact your length of mourning. So the child, say their dad passed away, they would probably mourn for 3 to 4 months. As a widower, you are supposed to be on strict mourning for 1 year. Strict mourning can be can't talk, no socialization or sexual contact. They must wear black clothes, shave their hair and facial hair. It didn't say must do that, but I'm pretty sure that's something that's preferred because shaving symbolizes death. You know, you're taking away, it dies, and then growing again indicates the strengthening of life. And then the last thing that's kind of a major thing for grieving is that they are not allowed to use the belongings of the deceased or their clothes anymore. And so I found, sorry, I have like a slight cough. So I found all my information on this. The first website I used was a community-based website that is in English and in Zulu, and it's called eNanda Online. And that was a great resource. And then I also used the Encyclopedia of Death and Dying, which looks at different cultures and how they view death and dying. And so that was deathreference.com. And then I also used our book, The Last Dance, in chapter 3 about African culture and how they view death and dying. Thank you.